from this computer. Okay,
Okie
I hope we
dokie.
didn't lose anybody.
Hello, Facebook.
Go ahead, Dougie.
Go ahead and let us know you're seeing this by typing replay or hashtag replay or anything. We love seeing you guys on there. I can see that people watched it, but it's even better when we get a comment. We are going, oh, I don't have a drink.
I have like 4.
Where's our daughter?
She's
Do
down
a
the
broadcast to tell
down
her
the
to bring a
street
drink.
from you. Just go ahead and go get a drink. I'll talk for a minute. Okay, I
Okay.
have this really cool paper that I found. I was organizing my desk. It does help to have Luminate because you never know when that little spurt of organizational energy happens. So one time I found myself cleaning out my entire car. Last night it was my desk. So, just drink Luminate and you'll be surprised what happens. So I found this paper and I need to like retype it probably, but I'm gonna just ask you guys in the chat. Let's answer some of these questions. These are morning power questions. Come up with 2 or 3 answers for each question. If you have difficulty discovering the answer, replace am I with the words could I be. So one of the questions is, what am I most happy about in my life now? And then it says, what about that makes me happy? How does that make me feel? So that's the first question. I'm gonna see if I can pick out one that's good. Then it says, what am I most excited about? What am I most proud of? Then grateful, and then enjoying most. So I think since it's summer, I'm gonna pick number 5. What am I enjoying most in my life right now? What about that do I enjoy? And how does that make me feel? You could answer that, or if you want to go with committed to, number 6, what am I committed to in my life right now? What about that makes me committed, and how does that make me feel? I mean, I think the answers would be pretty amazing. So anything along those lines, let's answer in the chat, guys. I'll say the one, number 5. What am I enjoying most in my life right now? Or what am I committed to in my life right now? What are you like actually intentionally making sure you're committing to? And it doesn't have to be the business, even though we're on a business Zoom right now. I know for me, one of them is not. Okay, mine might not make too much sense. We'll see. Anybody else want to answer? That's awesome, Janie. Glad you're on here. Wonderful. Hi, Kathy. You coming from Europe? Joining us? No, you're back?
I got back
Oh,
3 o'clock Sunday morning.
before the people say I'm going to Europe for a month, it's like, oh my gosh, when will we ever see her again? And then,
2 weeks.
oh, was it 2 weeks? Okay.
Actually, I think it was 2.5 weeks. It seems like a long time.
Yeah. So I thought it was gonna seem longer, but you're back. Yay. All right. And last time Kathy was here, her and Melissa took over the leaderboard for customers. How are you doing with team, Kathy? Because that's what we're going to be moving into.
I actually have a lady that I was talking to right before we were leaving, and I said I want us to have some customers lined up for you so that as soon as we get you signed up, so I will probably be talking to her today and get her signed up and connected with a launch call or whatever so that we can get her customers plugged in and get her rolling.
So she's somebody local to you?
Yes.
And how did you know that she was the right one or that she was gonna sign up?
I've been talking to her for some time. She just recently lost her son in his 30s.
Oh,
And so one day we had lunch for several hours and just sat there and talked and talked. And when the issue of health came up, I just told her, and she's looking for a job. And I told her, this is an opportunity. What if we did this together? And so, she's going through the grieving process. And I'm like, I think you need some purpose in your life. And just having a job doesn't always bring you a fulfillment and contentment. And I said, I think this is going to be a good fit. So why don't you try it? And so when I saw her yesterday at church, she's like, I'm ready. So hopefully we get her all signed up today.
wow, good job. So, you really invested time in the relationship. You've probably known her for a while. And you led her.
Since 95.
Okay, yeah. And you led
Long
her
time.
down that path. You said this will be best for you,
Right.
Knowing-
And not having a job, I said, well, while you're looking for a job, you've got some time right now. So as you're looking for a job, why don't we do this together? And why don't we work toward getting you healthy, giving you finding a purpose that is fulfilling. And she's such a person that loves to help people. And I'm like, oh, this is so down your alley. And so she's excited. She goes, I think my kids will want to do this with me. And I'm like, let's get going. But it was just as I was leaving, and I didn't want to, I like to lead them for those 10 days. I like to really be able to be hands-on. And so instead of getting another team member in May, I'm like, let's make it for June. And that way we can be intentional and have time to get those orders in, get you signed up and that sort of thing.
Great. Congratulations. That's awesome. Okay. So not everybody answered, but that's okay. I think Doug and I are in the same space with
I know, I wasn't even looking at yours.
really. Oh yeah, top priority.
It's only been a few years on that subject.
Right. Yeah. More and more. Okay. So if you did answer number 5, what am I enjoying most in my life? You can also say, what about that do I enjoy and how does that make me feel? So for Janie, that's a perfect question for you. And then if you answered the what am I committed to in my life right now, you can answer the second question is what about that makes me committed and how does that make me feel? So those are some follow-up questions. Hi, Kim. Okay, so who else has some exciting news? I've got some people that I've been juggling with exposures for team, and one of them is about passion and purpose, Kathy. So I love hearing that because my lady is like, oh no, it's my sister. Whoops. So my lady is 70, but she's really with it, and she doesn't want to just do nothing. And so when I had followed up with her about how are you doing, she's a customer, she's been a customer for a long time. She went and taught in China for 18 years and went back and forth. And sometimes she would get like 5 orders of Juice Plus and bring it with her to China. I loved those times. And so anyway,
That was good months.
those were some awesome months.
Pay in full.
So when she did that, I was like, wow, this is amazing. So now she's back and she was working with her son, but her son's business got closed down because of city ordinances with like commercial versus residential. Anyway, out of the blue. And so she said, now I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to do next. I'm like, yes, let me just tell you. So you never know when that's going to happen for people. And so who else has something exciting to share like that? Oh, now Lonnie, I think you're trying to talk, and Doug, I muted you because you were typing,
I
so.
was trying to unmute. Okay, so I don't know if I mentioned my book. Well, thank you so much for all of that you put on Facebook. Wow, I was shocked.
Oh.
Anyway, the Kindle version is #1 on Amazon in 7 categories.
What?
Yeah, but please don't buy it on Amazon. If
Right.
anybody wants to buy it, just get it from newlifeneardeath.com. It's interesting the conversation that you're having. I met on Monday, I go to a networking place. We go to IHOP,
Cool.
and they make some great avocado and tomatoes. Anyway, there's a guy there who was very new, and I asked him what he did, and he says, "Well, I do a lot of different things, and I'm not 100% sure. I'm looking for something else." I said, "Really? Well, let's have a conversation later." And so I have his information. I didn't want to hop all over him right in the moment, but it looks like people are still looking.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we
For
should
sure.
be there,
Yeah, yeah.
Gotta be out and about. Actually, Wendy Campbell left a message saying, get out in the sun, get
Yeah, get
moving,
out.
attract people. Yes.
It's so good to be out, I tell you. So that's what I'm excited about. I'm excited. I know I've said this a million times, but I'm excited about being alive.
Well, that's true. Now say
Yeah.
again slowly the link for your book. I think I
New,
pre-ordered it, but I don't know.
thank you. Yes, new life near death.com.
newlifeneardeath.com.
Right.
It's gonna be amazing.
It still says pre-order, but it's not a
Yeah.
pre-order.
Oh, it's
They're
not. So I'm
working.
gonna get my book soon.
You will.
Oh, okay.
I'm
good.
waiting for the they're updating it all with all of the packages that I'm offering. So it still says pre-order. It's not a pre-order, it's a real order.
Oh, good. Well, congratulations.
So
Number
yeah.
1 in 7 categories on
in 7 categories in the Kindle version. Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful.
You got a review or an endorsement, or maybe the forward was written by
Chaka
what's his name?
Khan.
Shaka Khan. That's right. That is so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I thought it was
What a
cool
legend.
too.
Shaka Khan.
Wow.
I know,
Yeah.
it makes you want to sing the song.
Chaka Khan.
I saw her in concert at the Jacksonville Jazz Fest last year, and she still puts on a show like you wouldn't believe.
He's amazing.
I think well, I'm not allowed to say anything. I was gonna say whether she's a customer or not.
Oh, I don't know because her nephew, that's how we got the connection because her nephew is a partner and he's really not active right now.
Okay.
However, he was a student of my husband's and then a partner with me. And then I mentioned it to he wanted me to meet her sister, Tammy, and which we met online and we really had a good connection.
Mm.
So the two of them, she and Tammy, wrote the forward.
Nice. See, networking.
You never know who your partners know.
Right,
That's true.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay,
that's a
well,
big connection.
if anybody wants to answer, what am I enjoying most of my life right now, or what am I committed to in my life right now? That's what we were doing. We're going to transition. I'll turn it over to Dougie for a few minutes.
All right. Well, we want to talk and continue to talk about getting team, and I'm really excited to see 13 people on in here in the summer when there's plenty of other things to be doing. Plus some people that are on Facebook and answering back. But I'm going to put it one more time in here, these 2 links, because this is what we'll be talking about. Facebook, you already have the links in there. There's now in boards. Hopefully everybody uses boards. I'm going to show you something in boards. When you're in boards, oh gosh, I hate the way. Oh, there you guys are. Okay, now I can see you. Okay, I'm going to look this way because I have 2 screens, so I apologize. But so when you're in boards, let's say you go into This is the Team Transformers Resources Board. There's two different ways you can share this with people. Sharon and I were just talking about this. If there's somebody in the business, and like for you guys, if I want you to be on this board and to have it in your board's app, I'm going to say add members up here. And then that will, you can add people via email, or I can copy a link. And that will give you that screen when you click on it where it says enter your email address. And once you do that, it's going to just add this board to your boards when you go into the app. Okay. But there are times when we want to just share, like what if I wanted a brand new team member? What if I didn't even want them to deal with boards or something? I could just go to this share button right here. So share is different. When I share it, let me open a new window and paste it in. Now you'll see that I'm going to see that I'm not even in boards right now. It's just a website. And now I can go through and I can look at all this stuff, but I don't have to be in boards. So that's how we share with like customers and people like that. But this is not, this is just like a website. Does that make sense, Sharon? Like the difference between those two? You notice on the left here, there's nothing else. I'm just looking at a board, okay? But if I'm in the boards app and I add members, then you would see it like this in this list on the left side where you see all your different boards. Now I have the paid version, so I have unlimited number of boards. I don't think it's really necessary to do that. But you can only have 3 at a time, okay? So I recommend you have the Campbell team board, the Team Transformers board, and then your own personal board, okay? So,
Right. So Team Transformers board, we have, so when it says join our team group or join our customer group, it'll have actually our link to our team and customer group. So that's the main difference that we're going to show you today on the getting started. Plus we have the
Right.
friends and family call and stuff like that that we like.
So I understand that, you know, there is a startup also in Campbell Team Board, but if you go to this getting started folder, let's say you have a brand new partner. Now, let me just give you a little backstory. Sometimes, you know, as we get new team members, how we start them is so critical, because if they don't move forward in the business, you know what happens. They just kind of float away. There's no reason for them to stick around. They're not going to make money. There's nothing to do. Okay. So you have to get them going right in the beginning. So we like using a simple system that's duplicatable, that's easy. If you go to Campbell Team under Getting Started, you're going to see something that looks very similar to what you'll see on the Team Transformers boards. The difference is, let's say we go to Setup. If Nalani's brand new and I send her this board, everything's looking great. It tells her what to do, how to set up her renews and everything, how to place orders, how to do a healthy starts order. Everything's great until we get down here. Because they would have this, join team Facebook group, edit button to add your team. Well, that's because that's not where we're supposed to send them. We're supposed to really send them to the Team Transformers board, into the Getting Started folder. Now, when I go into here, now when I click on join the Team Transformers Facebook group, it's going to literally take me right to the Team Transformers Facebook group. So that's an easy way to get them into the group. Okay. Now, this has been thought through by so many people, and even though everybody I'm looking at on here is seasoned enough to know this already, I think it's hold on, is Melissa still on here? She asked a question, what's the difference? Oh, I answered that. She might have left and I already answered it. Okay, forget it. So they're big. Oh, you're here. Oh, there you are. So what's the difference between Campbell Team Board? Is basically we've customized this to make it specific to our team. So this is the one I would send a new partner, and we want to go through exactly what we are telling them, and maybe have a little discussion, and don't be afraid to unmute and ask a question or make a comment. Like if I say, "Oh, do this," and it's really simple, but it's like I can never get my people to do that, then speak up and let us know, and we can talk through that. And Sharon, you jump in whenever you want.
Okay, I have a question, a general question, it could be
Yeah.
dumb. What if we, Doug and Sharon, as Team Transformers, subscribe to the Campbell Team board and put it on the Team Transformers board? Would that keep it up to date?
No.
Okay, nothing.
The boards don't push out to other places. They only update in that one spot. What we could do though, it'd be super simple, is in the Team Transformers board, I could just add a link to the Campbell team board. That way when they're in Team Transformers, they can easily click over to Campbell board. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
not?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, they should be joined and it would be right here on the left side of their boards
Yeah,
anyway.
I mean, the most things you need are on Campbell Team board. But specifics is what we
Yeah.
have in Team Transformers.
Yeah, things like under links and resources, Sharon's Zoom link. So this is great to have, like when you're trying to get people to get on the Lunch and Learn. I mean, my goodness, don't say don't join me on the Lunch and Learn. You better be sending them the link because that's just the way it is nowadays. I mean, you got to make it easy for people. And don't ask the question, and sometimes I do, like, why do we have to make it so easy for people? Why can't people just use their brain? No offense, but none of us seem to use our brains anymore, okay? So, all right, so the startup is in 3 different phases. Step 1 is setting up, okay? Now, I know that it's very common, you're gonna add a partner to your team, and then you just kind of go with the flow. But you have to take a moment to set up. There's a couple of reasons for that. First of all, well, honestly, if you're adding like a family plan discounted type of a person that isn't really going to do the business, you still want to set them up a little bit. You're not going to really, at least you're going to be trying to help them make it to like Partner Plus and make a little bonus. Otherwise, I'm not sure it would have been wise for them to sign up at all. It certainly wouldn't have been wise for you to sign them up because now they're going to take all your retail sales profit, right? So you want to get them moving a little forward. If they get that first bonus, that's great. You don't have to stop there. You can say, hey, you ready to work on that next one? We can go for $250. We can make a little bit more money, So first we wanted to go and set up their personalized Juice Plus website. Does everybody know how to do that? Kind of, sort of?
I think it's important. I see sometimes when I look up new people and I follow to their details and then it says the messed up website, I'm always like, oh my goodness. They don't even have a good website. So I think it's top priority for people.
Top priority. So I
to
clicked
make
on
sure.
the little linky there, and I am going to follow the instructions to make sure they're perfect. So here's my little link. I'm going to click my name at the upper right and go to a
Excuse
partner
me.
forum. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Sharon, what did you mean by they don't have a good website?
So do you remember when we signed up many years ago, there was a ++ sign and it was the last 5
Right,
social? They
right.
still have that as an auto-generated
Oh, gotcha.
website. They don't have sharonfarrar.juiceplus.com or their iteration of their name.juiceplus.com. You have to go show them how to
Right.
change that.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
All right, so we're going to log into the partner website. We're going to click on our name at the top right, select partner page, and then change address. Okay, so here's my name at the upper right. I'm going to go to partner page. And then I'm gonna go over here. This is where my this would be a weird name like D125789472.juiceplus.com, but I wanted to say something different. So now I can change my address here, and it gives me a bunch of options. Ooh, we can't do it custom anymore.
No, it's always going to be an iteration of your name.
Douglas Farrar, Douglas 9, you know, so you get good options usually. And then you have them updated here, and that's going to give them the better looking website.
Mhm.
Simple. All right, so that's the first thing. And you know, to be honest with you, I think there's something psychological, like anything we can do to make this into like a real business, I think it's good. I know sometimes like we don't want it to be too hard. Some people are like, I have no time, I can't do anything. I hate to tell you, but if they don't have time to hop on a Zoom for 30 minutes or at least follow instructions, I mean, you're in fantasy land if you think they're going to get to QSC. I mean, it's just the way it is, you know? So you want to lead them here, make it seem like they need to do this with you. And then we're going to set up our direct deposit and all that stuff on the same site. Enter your account name and all that stuff right around the same area where we just were at. And then you set up your auto renew. Do we have that back now, Sharon?
Yes, but you have to elect it, which we haven't even done. So
Oh, let's go do it.
let's go do it and see what that looks like.
All right, let's set up the auto renew. I'm gonna click on the bubble on the upper right, and I'm gonna go profile, then auto renew. Upper right, profile. And where is that thing? Renewal dates.
It looks like maybe yours. Please ensure. Oh. Uh-oh.
Remove auto. Okay, mine's all
Oh,
done.
maybe you did do it already.
Yeah, I'm not gonna mess with it. I think I'm
Yeah.
already set up.
Uh-huh.
Of course I did it, Sharon.
Of
Maybe.
course. Uh-huh.
All right, and then we're going to learn how to do orders. And then I think this is really important. This is something I've been reminded of in leadership. I learned this from a guy that actually ran the halfway house at the church I worked at for a while. And I would always ask him, you know, I asked him advice actually. I was counseling some kid or something about something, going through some struggle. And he said, here's what you got to do. You never just make it too easy on people. And now this is for halfway house people. You always, when they call you up and say, oh my gosh, I need to get into the halfway house. I mean, can you take me right now? Can you talk right now? Hey, I can talk to you tomorrow at 3 p.m. Call me back tomorrow at 3 p.m. And because they know from experience, if they're not going to call you at 3 p.m. tomorrow, as they said they would, they're not going to stay off of drugs. They're not going to stay out of jail or any of that stuff. They need to be desperate enough to come to the guy to go into the halfway house. Okay. Same thing here. Tell your people, hey, watch the video on how to place your order. Watch these 3 videos and then let's chat about it. And then we'll do a web walk or something. You know, you want to do little things that have them jumping through a little hoop, not a mountain, just a little hoop. Okay. So, and these are just videos that are going to teach you how to place orders and whatnot. Very simple. Then we're going to learn how to add a new partner. You know, by the way, the best thing is to enter their own orders. You know, hopefully they're doing that.
And you want to give them vision for being a product of the product. You know, when I first started, I ordered Juice Plus for me, ordered Juice Plus for Doug, I ordered the complete, ordered gummies. Nowadays, there are the pocket packs where you can hand those out. There's the individual servings of complete, so you could even combine that in the combo pack or the single serves. And of course, we love Luminate. So you want to give them ideas of things that they want to order so that they can also have people taste those. And so they could be a product of the product, and it's going to help them get their first bonus and their second bonus and on and on.
Absolutely. Then, of course, there's a little section on how to add partners. Hopefully they need that. And that's as simple as clicking on team and then add partner. That would be team. And then add partner right here. Pretty simple.
Right.
And
That's
we can
super
just
simple.
copy that link. This is a link that you should definitely have in your boards so that it's super easy to use at all times. Okay, so that'll just make your business a lot easier to do. How many of you guys have like your own personal board? Give me a little hand if you have your own board. Okay. How many people would like a training video on how to create a board for yourself? Okay. How many people just haven't gotten around to it? Okay, let me show you a quick thing. So here's my sign up.
So
If you wanna be-
Jimmy's asking, how did you get to that page? Are you talking about what he's on right now? That's his own Juice Plus partner portal. You go to team and then the plus sign, how to add a team
team
member.
right here. And then add a partner is right here at the top of the list. And then here's my partner sign up link. So I want to be able to use this in boards. So this takes like 2 seconds. I have a board called Doug's Business Board. And maybe sometimes we need vision as to why we would do things. This is why I have a board, because I love this section right here. Resources, FAQs, and links. Let me show you what I have in here. Like when I do a post, I have my hashtags here. So I can easily put all those hashtags in. Try to get those. What are you going to do? Go to another post and copy them? They just go right in now, you know? So let me say I want people to sign up for my business. I'm sure I have this in here somewhere, but I'm going to add a link. And I just put the link I copied in there. And now, if you use boards the way it's designed to be used, it's really, really simple. Here's my board, my link down here. And so now when
So then like if you made a button for yourself.
what do you
then-
mean a button?
So
You want a
do add, can you add a button? Oh, no, you
Well,
can't.
buttons are only on pages.
Oh, they're only on pages. Okay, nothing.
Yeah. And now I could do that within, I mean, honestly, I do have custom boards, landing pages, we call them. Of course, I got these from Stacy's landing pages, which we have all those in the Team Transformers one. I just customize it. This is all about how to join as an affiliate. And look, I already have the button set up where they go right to sign up with Doug Farrar. So that's super easy to do. That way, when they got the link from me, this is what they got. It had all this in it with a video. Whoops. Look at that. I better edit this real quick. This is how easy it is to edit this stuff.
Yeah, they're gonna learn from you doing this, so that's good.
So I
So
just deleted that.
The other
and
thing you wanna kind of keep on top of, and I know I don't. I just looked the other day and I was sending out something from Stacy's where I had put all my info in there. And I'll see if I can scan through there really quickly, but I was getting ready to send something to somebody and I noticed that it says video not available so those are not
Okay,
gonna,
look.
because it's not Team Transformers, it's not Campbell Team.
That's
So you have,
because somebody changed the video on YouTube, or they removed that video or something.
correct, right, but I'm saying you have to stay on top of it. If you do your own boards, it's not gonna refresh and stay up to date and even some of the ones, because Julie Herbst, as much as a superhero as she is, I've contacted her a couple of times where sometimes the company removes a video and you can't stay on top of all that
Yeah,
stuff.
absolutely. That's true. I think that's one of the reasons why I think it's a good idea to keep your I realize there's about 1 million different things out there you could have, but maybe just having a few of the things you really use is nice. That's another reason I like having my own board, because on Campbell Team, there's no search function in boards. So it's kind of a nightmare trying to locate certain things. So, and then you never know. I mean, you have 3 or 4 different people editing the Campbell board, and then they move it around, you'll go crazy. So I like to put the things that I'm really going to use into my own board. And then I have it for myself. All right, so let's go to step 2. This is for people getting organized. And of course, this is the point where it almost becomes applicable for you guys too. So I'm going to throw you a challenge if you're watching this, because this challenge was thrown to me. in a coaching session with Amy Getz and Julie Herbst. So we got double trouble when we were coached by them. They went for hours on us, literally 2 hours. And one of the things was just pretend you're a partner right now. So if Melissa Hetrick is a partner, her goal right now is to get to QSC. If she pretends she's a partner and just gets herself to QSC all over again, that's going to move her forward in her goals overall, because she would have added a partner and she would have got a bunch of new customers. So just go through that process. And number one step for getting customers and team is having a memory jogger. Now, can we put in the chat? I want to know what system do you guys use for a memory jogger? Like, how do you keep a memory jogger? I'm going to answer as well. Okay, Melissa's on paper. Dr. Nalani's using Teamsy. DMO Planner by Stacy for Kathy. I use something called Amplenote. It's just like Evernote, but it has some other features I like in it.
How do you like Amplenote?
I'm over the moon for Amplenote.
Really? Can you compare it to Teamsy?
Oh, Teamsy has way more functions than Amplenote.
Okay.
Amplenote doesn't remind you of anything like that. If you love having a CRM like that that suggests to
Really don't, but I know I'm supposed to, so.
If you're prospecting a lot of people, like and you have a lot of names on your list all the time, and you're doing this full time, Teamsy is probably a pretty good option. But I just do the system that Kurt Beavers recommended to me. Kurt Beavers uses just Apple Tasks, and I adapted that and calls it hot, warm, or cold. Cold means they're people I want to talk to. Warm, I have some communication going. Hot means I've now introduced Juice Plus into the conversation, and we're moving in that direction. So that keeps me organized, so that's all I really need. Teamsy is nice. What do you love about Teamsy? Maybe you could tell everybody, Nalani.
I love the fact that it's there and that it's a CRM, and I am not using it consistently. I'll tell you, you know what I'm using? It's really crazy. I'm using a notebook, and on one side it says the one thing, and on the other side it's everything else. So I put everything on my everything page that I want to accomplish today. And then one thing at a time, I put it in the one thing list. And when I get that accomplished, I check it off and I go back to my everything else page. However, this is not a CRM. And so this is not, this is just an organized way for me to do a to-do list.
Yeah.
To focus on the business, on the things that I think are important for me to accomplish that day. I think I'm still playing catch up. In fact, I know I am, with my brain, with getting back to life. And so everything is like everything. So for me, that's what I'm doing. However, in the back of my mind, there is, Teamsy, get back on Teamsy, because it's good. So that's not helpful, but that's what's happening.
No, it is. It's great. It's great.
For some reason, I can't keep up with Teamsy either. And I have lots of lists. So like this is who came to this certain event. So I have papers, and then eventually I'll add them, like Melissa said, to a Google spreadsheet. But like we have sign-in sheets from events.
Right.
And I'll just glance and I'll just start working from these sheets. I think I'm going to go to an organizational notebook again with Campbell team, how they have that. because I am a paper person. I like paper and I know like what's on a certain piece of paper, but not everybody's like that. I have people everywhere. I have on text, messenger, I think of them, whatever, but it's not perfect at all.
Don't worry, you don't have to be perfect, Sharon.
We'll let you move on.
Well, I think this is something that's probably not talked about enough because I know there's people that aren't organized. Like no, it's not about having it look pretty or be organized. Teamsy does too much for me too personally, but some people love it, you know. And I was just never able to get all those features that it has to really work for me, and I didn't like the way it was reminding me of people. It seemed like it was not at the right time, so. I just
Yeah.
like my hot, warm, cold. But I do think it is very wise. I think it's smart to have it digital because then you can set reminders. So if I talk to Nalani now and I know that I want to talk to her again in 1 month,
Mhm.
it's really easy for me to set a reminder. And in 1 month, see, for me, it's important to have a way for it to where it doesn't have to be in the back of my mind. Like it stresses me out the way Sharon does that. I coach Melissa and she can stress me out with post-its all over the place. And I think I've gotten her mostly off of that stuff. But I just feel like you guys have to be juggling that in your mind at all times. Like who do I need to talk to? Where's that list? Who do I need to talk to? Whereas if it's in Teamsy, you don't even have to think about it. And then all of a sudden Teamsy will say, hey, you should call Melissa today. Oh, let me call Melissa. And you never have to worry about things. So,
Thank you, because I've already, once I stopped using it and I was just paying for it for a whole year without using it. So I just quit it. And then I got back on it and I see the same pattern happening, not using it. So it's a discipline thing for me, I'm sure. Um,
Yeah.
And that helped me because I was about to say, you know what, I'm not going to do Teams here. But I know it's a good, you need a CRM. Everybody, if you have a real business, you got to have a CRM, some kind of a CRM.
So the other thing you could do is use reminders, like Doug was saying. I did attempt to move to reminders. Could put like one person in there and a date that you're gonna follow up and all that stuff. I
Right.
tend to go to my list though when I have events, but you can use reminders as a way. Like I have prospects under there, 70 of them I entered, Jacksonville follow-ups, some of those, so you can
So
use your.
that's a CRM. I mean, it's your own kind of CRM, but
yeah,
it's CRM.
it's whatever works for you. I mean, this is mine, Nalani,
Mhm.
and this is all my contacts. It almost looks like Evernote. It's Amplenote. It's kind of like Evernote. But if I go over here to Sarah Burke, she's one of my old students. She came to the sourdough on 5/19. If I want to set a reminder, I can. I would just, it sounds funny that I say FU for follow up. That's how I signal follow ups. I do a little. So now if I set it for tomorrow, FU Burke. Now tomorrow I'll get a reminder to follow up with Burke. So I like that. And then I could, here's all my hots. Here's everybody in Jacksonville. Here's team members. If I wanted to, I'm following up with certain team members that I need to. Here's all my warms and here's all my hots.
So this is a simpler, more to me, it's organized and it's simple. And it might be something that might be better for me than Teams. I don't know.
Well, to be honest with you, I don't share that usually with everybody because I think it would require some training.
Right.
It's because I'm keeping it all organized by using hashtags and things like that.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I like the nerdy side of like organizing my data and all that. To me, that inspires me to call people if I have to work on keeping it organized. So you have to find what works for you.
Works for you. Yeah.
Well, and the thing about Team Z too is it is really easy to use. So for people that are technically challenged like myself,
Yes.
easy to use. But like you said, Nalani, I'm not really good at using it either. But when I get on it to use it, everything's right there and I understand it all. And I think anything, you have to be disciplined to do it.
Exactly.
So if I'm not disciplined to do Team Z, I'm not going to be disciplined to do anything else.
Yeah,
Correct.
exactly. It'll work if you work it.
Right, exactly.
And I think the simplest, I mean, even simpler, if you don't want to take notes on people and all that, I used to just, you know how in the tasks app on your phone, you can set categories. So one category was hot, then one category was warm, then one was cold. And then if Nalani was on my cold list and then we started chatting up, it was like, okay, good, we have a conversation going. I can just drag her up to the warm list. And as long as you don't check off that item, you'll stay on there forever. So that's how I organized it. I got that from Kurt. All right, so that's the memory jogger. And remember, some of you guys still, sometimes you think, I don't know who I'm going to talk to. And trust me, if you got 1,000 friends on Facebook, you know who to talk to. You just got to go through those friends and like put them on that list, you know? Of course, there is a memory jogger available right here. And you can always download this PDF. And the PDF looks like this. And you could just 100 people you would like to get to know or get to talk to and all that kind of stuff. All right, next up, let's focus in on these next two items for the last part here. Because we are talking about Dream Team. And I think some of you guys haven't done this yet. So Sharon, I'd love for you to like, I mean, you guys used to use stuff like this a lot more back in the day.
This is actually from like the Drobes team, Cheryl
Yeah.
Cordy, Beth Leopold. They would do three-way calls with people. They would fill out a profile sheet, but the person, like, say I was doing a call with Chris Drobes, she'd say, all right, fill this out and get me a list of people that you would love to have on your team. And so on the left, it gives you, you know, some reminders of who those people might be. Somebody who's credible, connected, influential, somebody who's entrepreneurial, somebody who's positive in your life, like they're always showing up positive, somebody who is serving people or cause oriented, somebody who's like Kathy and I were just talking about, kind of in a transition, ready for a change or a purpose in life. Somebody who likes to help others, self-starter, teacher, health conscious, raving fan customer. So then you put their name and hold on, let's see, for each, go down, for each person include, excuse me,
Bless you.
their city, state, age, occupations. I mean, I don't fill out all that stuff on somebody, but it gives you an idea. It's kind of like, for me, a memory jogger. So I have some filled out on people, you know, that I would love to have on my team. So it's a good practice, I think, to do. And I think it came from this potential team member profile sheet that I have in my,
Yeah.
you know, so it's kind of a shorter one. I would use it however you can, just to write down people, you know, write down, oh, Susie lives next door. She's really happy-go-lucky. I've never talked to her about the business, to remind you. Because sometimes when you write things down, just like when you write a list, a to-do list or a vision or anything, your mind will go to work on it. And then something might happen 3 days later where all of a sudden you're talking to Susie and you're talking about the business. So it's kind of like a planning sheet, but also it can be used for you to then say to your upline, hey, I'm going to talk to Susie. I talked to her a little bit. I wonder if I could do a three-way call with you on Friday, or can I set up a bunch of three-way calls with you on Friday where you could share your story? I'm just going to say, hey, I would love for you to hear a couple stories about what we do and see if she's interested. Or like Kathy's saying, have a launch call where somebody can hear a bunch of different stories. So you can use it however you want, but it's basically to help you identify people you admire and respect, it says at the top. How do you know them? What do you know about them? What all have you already shared? I think that's really important too. And Stacy had something on her DMO planner where sometimes it's good for you to review how many conversations have I actually had with this person about Juice Plus? How many exposures have they had? Because sometimes you might think that you've had all these exposures that you've given them, when it comes down to maybe you've only given them like 2 exposures and you didn't even give them a video. So how are they supposed to get behind Juice Plus, you know, where they don't really know a whole lot? Maybe they came to a salad jar party and people were talking, they don't really even get it. So knowing how many, like doing little slash marks as to how many exposures they might have had, or writing down, okay, listen to Bridging the Gap, listen to Janet Roberto's 6-minute thing on the Complete, attended Wendy Campbell's Wow is in the Why, and then maybe a good next step is Tuesday night for the One Simple Change, followed into the business, and then Thursday we have a business Zoom. So that's how the Tuesday, Thursday is supposed to work to help you, whatever conversations you've got going on, to then say, okay, this week I'm going to plug that person in Tuesday night and Thursday night. And then maybe then they will have heard plenty. They will get an idea of what our company's about, what we're all about, and that they could just fit right in.
Yeah. And Sharon, you kind of covered it, but can we maybe just end up landing the plane here by, I feel like it's an elephant in the room, because we hear stuff like this, like design your dream team and who would you love to see on your team? Who do you admire? Who do you respect? Who's credible and connected? Who's money motivated and entrepreneurial and positive and all this stuff? The more of those things, like, guys know you're thinking of people right now when I say that. The more of those things that they meet, the more afraid you are to talk to them.
Right. They're
Right?
usually your chicken
Well,
list.
let's
They
face it.
don't fit.
It's easy to have like somebody that's kind of like limping and like barely, they can barely survive. They can't put a sentence together. And you're like, how'd you like to make a couple $100 a month? They're like, and it's like, okay, let's go.
Right.
No. So how do we approach those other people?
You lean back on the credibility of Plus and how it fits them. And, I've said things to people like, well, maybe you don't need any extra money. Because the person who was here the other day, Doug, that we got the carpet from, I'm like, you probably don't need any extra money. Once you say that, they're like, no, I can always use some extra money. And then one doctor, I had said to him, well, it doesn't probably matter to you like $1,000 extra a month, and he's like, yeah, it does. I'm like, okay, so now we're talking, you know what I mean? Like, so sometimes taking that out of the equation where maybe you think that they don't need it or wouldn't want some extra income, just having that conversation, like, I don't know if some extra income would be attractive to you, but you are already doing what we do, or you already are the perfect role model, or you're already, whatever it is that you think they are for this business, saying you're already somebody who would be perfect for this. Let me just give you a little bit. So give me 30 days, give me 60 days. You are the consultant for them to grow their business. You have to have that posture where you're going to lead them in that category. I can't lead the doctors in what they do. I don't know anything about that, but I know how to lead them to make some money based on their credibility and their recommendation, right? Same with, if you knew somebody who has, like this one lady who was over here, I said, well, you know a ton of people. We could just have a party, then have another party, then have another party, see where it goes. And she's like, okay. So, it depends on the person, but you've got to just lead them to how you think it would fit and how
Let's try some verbiage, some other people verbiage, like things we could say to people that we're approaching, then they're awesome. So my friend Nalani is she's on the top best-selling list right now on Amazon, an author, a teacher. I mean, she's got so much experience, a naturopathic doctor. Dr. Nalani, I don't know if this would be a fit for you or not, but I could just really see you loving our products and our business model. It's something with all the contacts that you have, it's something you could add to and leverage your contacts to help them get healthier and make some extra money on the side without even hardly impacting what you're already doing. That might be an interesting comment. Would you like to learn a little bit more, at least explore the option,
Until you said without having much of an impact on what you're already doing. My mind already was, I got enough, I'm doing enough already. I don't need another business or another thing to do. However,
Yeah.
when you said without having, when you said that, that just opened up the door.
I always include that. That's from Ray Higdon, because everybody, listen, have you ever noticed how people act like they operate on a different space-time continuum? Like some people act like they're really busy, but we're not. You know, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm so busy and all this stuff. It's like, well, whatever. Everybody's busy, kid. You know, it's like big deal. You know, and oh, I have this going on. Everybody's got their own thing going on too. I mean, we could spend an hour right now saying what tragedies are happening in our lives that make it difficult. Life is just hard. That's part of it all, you know? So I like including that. Now I did push it a little too far. I didn't like my verbiage. I made it sound like it's no time at all, but it really, especially for the busy people. And you see the people that are busy, they're better than the ones that aren't busy because they know how to move and hustle and manage their life. So they oftentimes can pile a little bit more on, and they also know how to multitask, and they can just fit it in. You know what I mean? So, anybody have any maybe one or two more potential things to say if you're to help the others who are a little afraid to approach those gold ships that we might want to get into the business?
Well, I remember using this one before, and I don't remember who it was from. You probably don't. I think it was Sharon, maybe. Anyway, maybe this is not a fit for you, but who do you know who would
Oh
like
yeah,
to have an extra $1,000 a month, extra
yeah,
$5,000 a month? And a lot of the times they'll say, well, I do.
yeah. Yep, and you can do that. I mean, I'll never forget the time I met Gabby in the dog park, you know, and she's like a 24-year-old beautiful young girl, you know, alone in the dog park with her dog, and here I am alone in the dog park, you know, and I'm like, man, I got to be real careful. This could be creepy, you know? I asked some questions. I came across this complimentary. I said, listen, and I always, if I'm talking to a woman, I'll always say my wife and I, or maybe I could connect you with my wife kind of a thing. But I was complimentary and I said, what do you do now? Well, she said, well, I'm a server. And I said, wow, that's a really difficult job. You know, you work really hard and you just have such great social skills. Because I was with a friend, one of my former students, walking our dogs. But then the friend left, and I went back into the park because I couldn't leave without talking to Gabby again. And I said, I think you might be really good, and you might really like what we do. I mean, it focuses on health and wellness. You'd have your own business for almost no money. I mean, it's only $50 to have your own franchise with this giant company in all these different countries. You think we could maybe talk about this further and you could explore that as an option? And she said, absolutely. And that was like in October, and it took till January to really connect. Took us a while, you know, but, you know, and, you know, some things have happened and she's still around. It's just now she's become a professional pickleball player. So we're going to eventually get her going as an affiliate and maybe get some pickleball lessons too out of it. All right. Well, hopefully this has been
Okay.
helpful for you guys thinking through the basics. We got to think about the basics and we don't need to overcomplicate things. You just got to focus on those basics. Sharon, any final thoughts?
I would just encourage you to check out the events for the week. There's some really good ones. Trying to remember what all was in there. Does somebody want to yell out their favorite thing they're gonna invite to? For people?
Lisa Pebble.
Right, Lisa
And-
Pebble, Wednesday night at 8, which is the same time as Nalani's call. And
Yeah, and I didn't want to miss that because that's with Mitra Ray, right?
no,
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 Oh,
just
Susan, we had that wrong on the power hour. That is something you can invite people to.
Oh, it is? Okay, good.
Yeah, she's just the expert, the trainer. So
So
she's
that's
going to give us some of the science behind Luminate, I believe.
Okay, great.
And then new partners received this. Let's see if I can show you. The new partner welcome. So they should have received this by email or something from the company. 7 o'clock Eastern, Wednesday night. I think June 18th, maybe it's Wednesday night. I'm not sure if that's Wednesday night. That's good. And then there's a Tuesday, Thursday, Tuesday being a product event and Thursday being a business event. All that is on Team Transformers Facebook under featured. Make sure you click on that. Only sideline people ever click on that. And put hearts or anything. I'd love to hear from you guys that you actually see the flyers. That'd be nice.
So long as you, now that you broached that subject, I'll close by saying that we are humans too. So it does mean a lot when we get a like or a comment or an encouraging message. So
That there
we
is
love
no
you.
black hole that it's going into.
Sometimes it feels like, you know how it feels when you guys are getting ghosted back? Sometimes we feel that too. So don't let us feel that. We love you. All right, guys. Have a great day. Go get them. Go get them.
Thank you, guys.
I love you, Douglas and Sharon.
Nicole, can we call you now?
Yes.
All right. You could just stay on. Oh.
Yeah.